Hey everybody, how y'all doing? McJesse12,000 here. Today I'm going to be doing a book review about another book review. In my last video I did a book review, and so I'll leave a link down below to that video if you want to go check it out. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. Comment below what your thoughts is about the book. And also, share this video with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe. Let me know what other books you'd like me to review. But alright, I'm going to go ahead and get started. It's actually not going to be on a particular book. It's going to be about the book series. So it's going to be a book series review. I haven't read all the books in the series, but I'm going to be reviewing. These are my thoughts about the books that I've read so far. Okay, so I've read the first 3 books of this book series. It's called Voyagers, I believe is what it's called. It's I talked about it in not in my last video, but in one of my earlier videos, which I'll also leave a link down below, by the way. Okay, I'm going to be telling you about things I liked about the books that I've read and the things that I didn't like about the books. So I'll start with the good things, okay? Let's start with some positive. Alright. One is that it's a kid-friendly book series. I think that's very important to have those series for children, and I don't really remember the age recommended for this book series. I don't really remember. I know it's a book series for kids, but I don't remember what age it's meant for. So I'll have to get back to you guys on that. Another thing I like, even though it's a kids series, adults and teenagers can read it too, of course. I am a teenager and I loved the book series so far. Another thing I liked about it was the trials the characters face. The main characters throughout the book series, throughout each of the books, they each face different trials and different challenges, different things that came up in their lives. And I think that's very important to deal with those challenges as a reader, as an author. I think that's very important to build up on those challenges, to have your characters learn from those challenges, and to have their story build up on that. And it also helps the readers to learn from those as well. I think that's very important. Another thing I liked about this book series is the involvement with the readers. Okay, so there were things throughout the books that had made the readers need to work at it to get the rest of the story, and I think that's very important. I think it's very important to get the readers involved with the story so they can continue through. I think that's very good, and that's very exciting for the readers to do. Another thing I liked about it, number 4, is the mysteries throughout the story. Okay, so there were a bunch of secrets throughout the story, as in a bunch of mysteries for the characters to solve and the readers to solve, and you get to learn more of those on the way and get the answers to them on the way. And I think that's very important. I really love those books with a lot of mystery. Just have it easy, as in don't just have them, okay, so I'm not going to have to worry about solving these problems or finding the answers to what's going on. Or I think that's very important to have those mysteries, those questions for the readers and for the characters. Okay, another thing I liked about it, number 5, is the plot. The plot throughout the story, it was really good plot. I really liked the plot. I really liked the story for it, and I really enjoyed that. Okay, it was very good story, and the reader continued to build up on that and had them connected. I think that's very important, and they didn't leave any like gaps in between. Like, okay, what's going on? What happened? I think that's very good, and it's very important. Another thing I liked about it, and this is the last one I have about the good things, unfortunately. I mean, there were a bunch of good things about the book, but I didn't want to talk about all the good things about it. I needed to fit it all in a video. So I had to limit myself, unfortunately. Gonna do a 40 or whatever hours long video on this, unfortunately. Yeah. Another thing I liked about it is the new and the old villains. And when I say that, what do I mean by that is, I mean, they had, throughout each of the books, they didn't just have the same old villains. Okay, there was a problem, these old villains did, I'm going to do another problem, or the same problem, or whatever, I'm going to same villains over and over and over and over and over again throughout each of the books. And what I mean that is, I think it's very important to have those new villains they face interact, because that is good, because they don't just have to deal with the same problems, and it gives more story and more stuff for the readers to enjoy, and to have more story for the readers. I think that's very important. And they also are good about, the author did a good job about building up the story on the old villains as well. And that's very important. Now, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the bad things I had, the problems I had about the book series. Okay. Problem one was they needed more detail. The author needed I personally would have loved the book series more if it had a lot more detail and a lot more detail for the characters and detail for the events around them and the scenery and everything going on. I think that's very important to have detail, and I look for that in a book. Was that the characters needed more story background. As in, I wish the author did a bit more on the background of the characters. I really like background on characters. I think that's very important, and I wish the author had more. But it was still a good book series. Another thing I liked, another problems I had was, okay, so the author focused more on the main character, his family, and I wish that the author showed more of that family. But I wish I wish the author showed more of the other characters' families as well. But another thing, the last problem I had was show more of the main villain. The author didn't show as much of the main villain as he did as the other villains. And so, but, it was still a good book series overall, like I said. Those were just some problems I had with it, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. I have to go, but I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'm repeating myself. Alright, so see y'all later. Have a good week, and yeah, bye.